Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here to talk about The Dark Half by Stephen King. In this book, you are following Thad Beaumont, who is a struggling writer. He also has published books under the name George Stark. And those books were not struggling, they became bestsellers. However, Thad has decided to kill George off and will no longer be publishing books under his name. And when that happens and it gets out, things start happening to the people in George Stark's and Thad Beaumont's life. And Thad begins to wonder if George is maybe not as imaginary as he thought he was. This book reminded me a lot of probably how Stephen King felt when he killed off Richard Bachman, which was his pen name that he used in the 70s and 80s so that he could publish more than one book a year. And so I bet it really seems like he had the idea for this book when that was happening in his life, because it's about an author who writes under a pen name and then stops writing under that pen name. What would happen if Richard Bachman, or in this case George Stark, didn't want to stay dead? I liked this book. It was definitely old school Stephen King. I like some of his earliest work. I don't know. Some people think he's a little bit wordy, but I thought the image in this was great. I had never read it before. I had never read anything like this before. Yeah, I always enjoy reading a new Stephen King book, and this one did not disappoint. But now I want to know, have you read this book? What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today I'm here to talk about Tastes Like Candy by Ivy Tholen. In this book, you are following Violet Warren. She is about to start her senior year at high school. In this town and high school, there is a tradition before school starts for the year that a group of future seniors, so girls who are going to be seniors this year, get picked to go on this scavenger hunt. And then after they go through the scavenger hunt, they all have breakfast with like the old seniors the next morning. And the scavenger hunt has always been at the school before. However, this year, Violet and her friends find out that the scavenger hunt is going to take place at a local amusement park. It's kind of like a horror haunted house themed, it's like a spooky amusement park. So Violet and her friends arrive at the amusement park and sneak in after dark. And while they are trying to find their items, they suddenly start dying. But they don't realize that they're being pursued and start dying. This is a young adult horror book, so it's not as totally graphic and gory as maybe it could have been, but there was still some pretty intense scenes considering that it's young adult. Definitely a slasher. I really liked this book. I read it in August for the Buzzword Readathon. The theme for August was books with the word like in the title, so I read Tastes Like Candy. This was really fun. I read it really quickly. There is a second one, Sugar Rush, Sugar Free, I can't remember. I don't know anything about that. It was fun. It was young adult. The reasoning behind the killer was very young adult. But overall, if you're looking for a slasher book that is set, in the fall-ish, end of summer, beginning of fall, you don't mind young adult, but also, again, be prepared. This is a lot more graphic than some of the other young adult horror that I've read, but overall, a really good time. I suggest you check this one out. So now I want to know, have you read this book? What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye. Hey, it's Jess. Welcome back. Today, I'm here to talk about Loveless by Alice Oseman. In this book, you are following Georgia. She and her two best friends are going to college, and although they are going to the same college, they have been divided into different houses. So this college campus has different houses, I think based on what degree you're pursuing. So Georgia is put into one house, and her two best friends, Jason and Pip, are together in another house. Georgia has never really been on her own before, so she's navigating the world of growing up and being with her friends, but not, together all the time like they were in high school. One of the appeals of college is they have a bunch of different clubs. And so during one of the first weeks, all of them go and sign up for different clubs. And Georgia puts her email down for the Pride Club. Georgia finds out that her house parent, they joke that it's the house parent, it's like the RA of her house. His name is Sunil. His name is Sunil, and he is the president of the Pride Society, or the Pride Club. They call them societies in I don't know, this is in England, so is that what they call clubs in England? They call them societies. And one night, Sunil meets her, like they run into each other, and he convinces her to come to the event for the Pride social that they're having that night. Spending more time at the social and learning new people, Georgia discovers that she is asexual and aromantic. She had never heard these terms before. She just thought, she didn't know anything about why she was never attracted to anyone. Boys or girls. She never had a relationship, and she didn't know why, because she didn't know that these terms were out there. So this book is about her learning about asexuality and aromanticism, and basically learning to be okay with that, and learning to live, like realizing what the rest of her life is going to be like, but also talking to her friends about that, and being okay with it. I loved this book. I'm so mad that I took so long to read it. I understand the hype now. I was in the middle of reading it. I was only like 20 pages in, and I texted my best friend, and I'm like, oh my gosh, you need to read this book. It is so fabulous. I loved the characters. I loved their relationships, and it's really about, you don't always have to have romantic love. You can love your friends, and that's okay. Loving a friend and loving your family is different than romantic love, and again, there's nothing wrong with that. I don't know. I really loved this book. I think everyone should read it. And again, I understand the hype behind it now. And so now I want to know, have you read this book? What did you think? All right, I'll talk to you later. Bye.